I'm proud to tell you that this video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and by using my affiliate link in the pinned comment and in the description box, you'll not only be helping support the channel since it's a affiliate link. I do get a small commission for each sale that's made, so I don't get anything unless you guys purchase it. However, you'll also be able to get some really cool anime themed merchandise as well as energy tubs and different energy formulas. I personally use G Fuel a lot, and when it comes to anime, there's a plethora of different anime to choose from. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, My Hero Academia, Mobile Suit Gundam, Attack on Titan, and so many other series are available on the website in the form of energy formulas packed with all the vitamins that you need and just enough caffeine to get you going for your day. Right now, G Fuel is running a 25th anniversary campaign for Neopets. Step into the magical world of Neopets and celebrate 25 years of adventure, friendship, and fun with Neopets' 25th anniversary G Fuel Golden Berry Energy Tub. You are not going to be disappointed in the flavor with this one. Absolutely worth every penny for it. I mean, come on, it's called the Great Golden Slushy. Scoutmaster Jigen definitely approves of this one. Which, most importantly, this cannot be understated. Unlike a lot of energy products that are out there, there is no crash and there is zero sugar. Two really huge selling points of why I personally support G Fuel. In typical anime fashion, I am going to need you guys to send me your energy by clicking the affiliate link in the description and in the pinned comment. And when you do so, make sure to use my promo code KAGE to get yourself a discount. Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today I want to talk to you guys about the ramifications of the arrest of Boruto and why this entire situation stands a very good chance to put Shikamaru, the current 8th Hokage, on a bit of a hot seat once Boruto's brought before him, and stands a chance to make for some really good conflict when it comes to the role of his character in the story. Grab those ramen bowls for this newest Naruto Explain video where we officially spell out all the danger that Shikamaru fans need to have when it comes to our favorite 200 IQ Hokage and why you should be on notice. In order to understand why this is the case, we have to take a deeper look into more than just Big Bad Boruto's been captured, Konoha wants Boruto dead, Boruto's in handcuffs, all eyes on Shikamaru now. We have to go a little bit deeper beneath the surface and look into his character and how we got to this point in order to truly understand the increasingly tightrope that Shikamaru is walking on with this current predicament, and how everything he's been through up to this point has prepared him for this very moment. Throughout the entirety of Shikamaru's character, dating all the way back to Naruto Part 1, he's always been presented as being this generational talent when it comes to strategy, being someone who is able to see the battlefield before it starts, come up with multiple different strategies and adjust them whenever the conditions on the battlefield change. For the most part, Shikamaru was always able to use that big brain of his to stay one step ahead of those who threaten his comrades. However, there have been a few occasions where the manga showed us that in his youth, despite Shikamaru being such a good strategist, even he was not above making the mistakes that so many of us make in the springtime of our youth, as Mike Guy likes to call it. His failure on the Sasuke retrieval mission, it saw him learn the harsh reality that as a leader of men, you have to work with the tools given to you on a short notice, and said tools, oftentimes, they won't be the very things that you wanted in order to begin with. The moment that Shikamaru learned that Sasuke had left to join Orochimaru and was accompanied by Orochimaru's henchmen, he correctly requested that a team that was solely comprised of Chunin and Jonin be authorized to help him take down the Sound 4 and retrieve Sasuke, which was the right assessment given that the Sound 4, they are shown in the manga struggling with special Jonin and having to go into their curse-marked second state in order to defeat them, despite the fact that that team they fought were coming off of a mission and they were exhausted. The idea of a team of Chunin and Jonin, it wasn't crazy. A team effort of Chunin, they could have handled the members with a higher difficulty, and a standard Jonin would have been able to beat the members of the Sound 4 easily, given how they struggled with special Jonin who are weaker than normal Jonin. However, he learned in life, you don't get the option to get what you want right away. He had to find whatever gaining he could, with the only condition being that whatever team he assembled was required to have Naruto per chapter 182 of the manga. This, of course, led to not only the mission failing, but it nearly got his entire team wiped out, and it would have if Tsunade hadn't sent the Sand siblings as backup. But that lesson was very much needed to teach Shikamaru about the importance of leadership, which is that things outside of your control, they can and they will lead to people you care about dying. It will be a lesson that he would learn again when fighting Hidan and Kakuzu, where Asuma, his mentor, and the man who made Shikamaru the godfather of his child, he fell in battle putting his faith into Shikamaru, who learned that even when you make all the correct moves in battle, when you don't have all the information because you operated too early or from a place of weakness, or you operate in a rash manner because you're emotional, it will lead to those who you care about dying. As we all know, he would finally put the pieces together in the war where multiple characters called him a man who would be more than worthy of being a Kage one day. Yet now we see Shikamaru in what is truly the third time in a position of power where the life of someone else is in a helpless situation and it is in his hands. This time it is Boruto. While he did take over strategic command of the Shinobi Alliance, fall in the death of his father, that command, it was short-lived because the Edo Tensei Hokage showed up and they took charge of the tactical situations the same way that Kakashi in the rematch against Kakuzu and Hidan, Kakashi took lead on a few things. However, right now, Shikamaru, he is caught between a rock and a hard place. On the surface level, he is acting as the 8th Hokage, and there are eyes that are looking at him, watching over his every move right now. He is going to be expected to enforce the kill on sight order for Boruto whenever that interrogation is over. After the last question is asked, they're gonna want a bullet in Boruto's head. Though I think we're all in agreement that Boruto is likely to say or do something that offers Shikamaru a lifeline to pause execution order in the name of dealing with the awakened Shinji and their ever so growing numbers. Yet Shikamaru, during that conversation, he has to be careful. He knows that Boruto is innocent and that the lies of Boruto and Kawaki, they've been swapped in the memories of everyone. Depending on who is in that room, is going to have a spotlight placed on him. Like for instance, say if Amado Sanzu is right there in the interrogation room, either in the room directly or he's watching behind a glass window like how Borut and the others were when Amado first came into Konoha to be interrogated by Shikamaru, Naruto, and Sasuke. Amado is why Shikamaru figured out the truth, and Amado is the one who has a tendency to make very calculated decisions. He's laying chess pieces all the time, and he's laying traps for future moves, waiting to exploit the enemy when it's most beneficial to him. That hasn't really changed, and Amado didn't look right into the place where he knew that there was a camera watching him for no reason when he stated to the class rep that memories of Boruto and Kawaki in the minds of everyone, they had been reversed and that he had known all along this entire time. He wanted Shikamaru to know the truth. Shikamaru being someone who Amado's been playing a very silent game of chess with the last 3.5 years, each of them trying to get leverage over the other, ever since Amado first walked into Konoha. If he said this information, he had his reasons, and notice that he spoke out loud when he did so, which means that those are words that Eida will be able to look back on with their Semigon later and see that Shikamaru should have been aware of the truth. All it would take is Amado bringing up a line of questioning in the conversation or within earshot of Eida regarding Shikamaru to pique her curiosity and have her go with her eyes and look back, and she's going to pick up on that this is the case. That conversation, like a lot of Amado's words, they have hidden meanings to them that they don't give you the answer right away. You have to read in between the lines of what it is he's saying. Like how Amado's first reaction to learning Ishiki was dead was him asking, is Kawaki okay? Not like, oh my God, we're alive. Not, oh my God, who came back safe? It was, where is Kawaki? Is Kawaki okay? That was our hint right there that the man had something else planned. There's another move at play here that Shikamaru has to consider the possibility of, because Boruto's life, it is in his hands, as is his ability to watch over Boruto's Hokage when all this is over, because he has a cover to maintain, but he can't get too aggressive with Boruto either. The other thing working against him leading into this interrogation is that he doesn't have Amado's prior statement about omnipotence in order to be concerned with, but he also has Amado's knowledge of Kashin Koji and the fact that Kawaki spotted the toad on Boruto and knew right away what it was. Kawaki previously suspected that there was someone helping Boruto, that there was someone he was speaking to, which Kawaki initially thought it was someone on the sensory unit. However, now that he knows that it's the toad that belongs to Kashin Koji, it's going to raise more questions that are going to place Shikamaru in a very uncomfortable situation. Kawaki has always been implied to find it suspicious that Konoha is a place that Boruto arrived at that exact day, at that exact point in time, right when Code began to attack the village. It was to the point that Kawaki was openly asking, was it even possible that someone was feeding Boruto intel? Because even someone as stupid as 12-year-old crayon-eating Naruto would have been able to look at that situation and go, there's no way in hell Boruto just happened to be in the area that close to Konoha when Code attacked, not when there were Anbu and all 5 nations looking for him. Kawaki, he's a lot of things. Namely, he's a huge Naruto fanboy. But Kawaki is someone who has always been pretty observant when it comes to making logical deductions, namely ones that require him to take the emotion out in order to make a proper decision. Kawaki is going to ask the biggest question, which is, are there more toads in Konoha that belong to Kashin Koji? Amado is someone who will be able to verify that Kashin Koji uses toads for surveillance, and it wasn't by mistake that we were told that the toad in question was an artificial object just like himself, which, reminder, artificial humans, synthetic humans, those are words that are meant to refer to clones and cyborgs, so they're still human in that they have been born, even if they're born out of a petri dish like clones, but they are a byproduct of science. So clones being your Mitsuki and Kashin Koji and Delta, cyborgs being every car inner that we've ever met, so Koji, Delta, Kawaki, etc., etc. There's something to be said for how the story has kept Kashin Koji away from Amado this whole time, and that tidbit about the frogs is going to be something that he's going to have requested of Eida to potentially start looking back with the Senrigan to locate Kashin Koji, as well as to see if there are other frogs that might have been all over the place in the village. Who knows, Kawaki might have a wall built up and make Mount Minaboku pay for it. That is where Shikamaru has a problem. It's one thing if she finds one of the toads with her eyes and then she looks back over the past and she sees 1 or 2 of them in the village somewhere, likely seeing them carry Boruto's flying Raijin marker, which that is dangerous. That is intel that someone like Kawaki will be able to use later in battle, knowing that he can shrink Boruto's markers and prevent him from spamming it. However, you also run into the problem of Kashin Koji's toad was also inside of Shikamaru's office as Hokage, and that is something we said from the very beginning when the chapter dropped. That potentially is going to bite Shikamaru in the rear and leave him open for exposure. When Eida uses her Senrigan, she projects herself into the background of whatever event from the past that she's watching up to the moment she was born 19 years ago. It's usually been from behind the person that she's viewing or off to the side, depending on what angle she is being projected at. She is going to see that toad on Shikamaru's desk more likely than not, because it was between the books and hiding discreetly, yet the toad didn't just randomly appear. And its mouth was moving, it was talking, it was speaking. Eida is gonna hear those words, or if they're too low to be made out, she's gonna see the mouth moving on the toad. She's gonna see Shikamaru's face briefly flinch when it begins speaking, telling him not to turn around. There's a chance that Eida does pick up on this, because now she knows exactly what she's looking for. Shikamaru's only saving grace was that Eida, she has a tendency to get bored by things that she's looking at with her eyes, to a point she doesn't even finish scenes by her own admittance, because most of what she sees, it bores the hell out of her. But if she does pick up on it, it could lead to Shikamaru being on the hot seat right next to Boruto and at the mercy of Eida, depending on what she says. Who knows? Maybe we see that "you know you done messed up" meme that we got from Menace to Society that we're gonna remake on this thumbnail specifically. So if you caught that reference, you are absolutely amazing. Just as this Urza Scarlet video on the left breaks down all of her armors, and it is super amazing to look at, which you can watch my Anime Explained channel. And over here on the other side, we got a Naruto Explained video for those you guys wanting more Naruto content.